Recording in progress. Oh, are we doing all from the beginning?
In the Pop Culture Cupid podcast, we talk about how pop culture influences our expectations in relationships. I'm Alison, love coach, here to help you single people find your way back to love.
Healthy communication. I'm Michelle. I help singles embrace themselves and their singleness, as well as develop a healthy self-relationship. We bring some juicy stories from our own love lives and dating, and it gets pretty interesting. Be focused, we're going to be to the point, and no digressing.
Self-awareness. Follow, share, subscribe, enjoy.
And like and comment.
If it's shockingly bad, we just re-record another one.
Yeah. No, I think there's some good stuff that you can just nitpick. Recording in progress. Woo!
You were ready for that one. You were just you were ready for it.
I was like, it's my moment to shine.
It's your signature.
Yes.
How are you?
I am doing good. It's
good.
Yeah, it's actually been quite good. I've been more motivated recently. So
good. It's the New Year effect.
I guess so, yeah. Like, just because I've been sitting with myself and I'm like, I was saying, like, New Year's resolutions don't always work. I think it depends on the person and not the resolutions. But just this year, I'm trying to come up with a better system for working really good with myself and getting things rolling and moving. Anyway, how about you?
Things done.
Yeah.
I mean, similar situation for I'm the type of person, I really like cycles. Like, I like starting new things either on Mondays or on the first of the month. So the 1st of January, I always, I like to kind of just, if I'm thinking of doing something along December, I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to do it in January.
Yeah.
I usually have a bunch of New Year's resolutions, and half of them I see them through and the other half I don't. This year I did, before we started recording, we were talking about not really resolutions, but kind of like getting back into a good routine. And that was my thing. It was just like, everything that happened, like the last 6 months of 2024, I'm just like, I've gotten out of the good routine and I just want to go back into it. So it's my resolution is to kind of just take a step back, regroup, and start again.
Yeah, same. And just restructure things properly in a way that's like easy to follow.
And so far, so good. And honestly, I mean, there's something to say about too much technology, but with the iPhone, and like, I'm sure Samsung does it as well, but just like the notes and the reminders and like the way that they schedule everything, it's really helpful. It's really helpful. And people who say, oh, we didn't need that so many years ago, and I was like, yeah, but they just didn't have the same lifestyle. Stop criticizing the positive tools. Criticize the negativity, but the positive stuff, stop it. So
yeah. Well, Zev, my adorable Stone Age caveman, has just discovered AI. So he was like, I chatted with AI today. And he was like having so much fun with it, asking it questions. And it's like, I'm like, oh, fun. Yeah. But the cool thing about it is that I asked it, like, who is Zev Kaplun, which is his name. I asked ChatGPT, and it gave me, there's a few people with that name. And he was the first one that came up. So that's pretty cool. Because he's a fitness instructor, so his name is out there in this area. So, but it's like really cool that that's like the first name that came up. I don't know. Maybe ChatGPT knows that we're a couple as well. So who knows?
Probably does.
It might. I think they know everything about us by now.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
No.
Yeah.
I was going to go into a thing about TikTok, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Valentine's Day.
Yay!
So happy Valentine's Day, more or less, because this is coming out Sunday. Valentine's Day is going to be Friday. So, it's no surprise that we are cheating and we're not recording this the Sunday before Valentine's Day. We're recording it practically a month in advance.
Yeah, but doesn't everyone do that?
A lot of people do that. I just
Yeah.
don't think that they are as upfront about it as. I mean, not that there's anything to lie about. It's just like we just say
Yeah.
no, no. This is
I
how it
think it's
works
just
for
like a
us.
given. People just anyway, we're
Anyway,
digressing again.
digressing again. Valentine's Day. I mean, any plans? What are your thoughts? What you?
Well, I do have plans, but not because I was intending to plan something for Valentine's Day. Um, in general, I'm just not, I don't know, I find Valentine's Day to be just like such a gimmicky day and just a day to make us spend more money. Although it is also a good excuse to celebrate, but there's this Israeli reggae band that is performing, and I've wanted to go to a show of theirs for a long time already. So,
Good.
and it
It
happens
turns
to
out,
be on Valentine's Day, and I had a discount by my credit card, so I'm like, why not
why
make a
not?
day out of it? So,
Good.
and it's on a Friday, so that's amazing. I don't know about you, but Fridays here are either like a day off or a half day of work. So I usually sometimes I do work on Friday, but like I usually take a day off on Fridays. So that's nice so that we get like that it came out on a day that's like
Yeah.
in general I love Fridays. Friday is a good day of the week.
I think your Friday is our Saturday.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I mean, cool. That sounds good. I think that's what a lot of people end up doing because, a lot of things happen on Valentine's Day, whether people
Yeah.
celebrate it or not. But I think it's just, bands and shows and things
Hmm.
like they know. So they tend to put things because it's either, a good couples activity or a good activity to do as a single person and like not feel too alone. So I think a lot of things
Yeah.
happen around the 14th of February. 14th of February is actually the day we met, JT and I.
I remember you had that event, that couples event
Yeah.
that you were
So it's
hosting. So,
exactly. Exactly. So we would definitely like we'll celebrate, but we'll have a newborn when that happens. So
fun.
so
Well,
I'm not sure how much we will be celebrating. We will do something. I might thinking about it now, I might try and get a gift now because
mhm.
it's not when I have a newborn that I'll be capable of thinking about it. So I
Yeah.
might yeah, I'll think about it now. Um,
That's a good question though. Like, do you need to get gifts for Valentine's Day? Because like, I'm like, first of all, I think we should be gift giving throughout the year when we see fit. Like when there's something that the other person wants and you just feel like treating them. But then like, I feel like, what are you going to get someone specifically for Valentine's Day that doesn't feel like a waste of money? I don't
I
know.
agree.
Maybe that's just like because me and well, I guess it also depends on the mentality because Evan and I are not like we're very, let's use the word frugal, I would say. We're very generous, especially when it comes to buying for other people, but we're also very frugal and we're both like if he just goes out and splurges and buys me something very big or whatever or something out of I'd be on the one hand I'd be touched and excited, but on the other hand I'd be really upset with him for wasting that money. And I'm like, you could have invested that money and then in a few years' times, you could have bought me the whole town or whatever.
Collection.
So, and he knows that. So he would like be, I know that you would get upset at me. Plus, I like spending on experiences. So like we purchased the tickets for the show. And then once we're there, we'll probably spend more on like going out and eating somewhere nice that we
Yeah.
don't usually do and things like that. So,
Yeah, I agree to a certain extent. Um, so JT is very much a gift giver.
mhm,
Um,
yeah,
I I think I'm similar to you in the sense that I'm frugal but generous for gift giving and things like that. But I kind of express my love by like services, doing
yeah.
something. And JT just refuses it to receive anything from me. He just refuses.
Oh,
He refuses, especially now. which gets me a bit angry sometimes. But
Excuse you, you're giving him the best gift he could ever ask for.
exactly.
So say thank you and shut up.
But true. But
It's a baby
I,
for those who
it's a
didn't
baby.
know.
It's a
Yeah, it's a
baby,
baby.
and I can't. You can't really tell, like from the like
Yeah,
neck up. You can't really tell. Like you
yeah. Oh,
look down,
baby.
baby. Um, However, as I said, like I'm somebody who likes cycles, and I also like dates. Like I like, you know,
Yeah,
like for my birthday, I don't expect a big party. I actually don't really want a big party,
same.
but I like I like little attentions. Like
Hmm.
you sent me a lovely message. I like those little things, and I like uh, when celebrating anniversaries and like JT and I got civil union, so it's kind of like a step below wedding uh
Yeah,
in June, and I'm gonna want to do something from that. Like, just like little events I really like. Um, but not necessary to buy gifts. Uh, maybe I don't know, something sexy or going out to a restaurant or things like that. It's just I said buying a gift is because this year I'm not going to be up for going out or doing
yeah,
anything or whatever. So I want to be able to kind of anticipate that and still kind of celebrate him and our love. And I agree, it should happen all the whole year round. But I see, like, for me, the fact that there is a date, it makes it even more, it makes it nicer. I just don't, we wouldn't go to a restaurant and get the Valentine's Day menu.
no,
You see,
yeah,
I'd much rather, yeah, do what you do, what you're doing. You go to a show or do something and
yeah. I
just,
think it's, yeah.
go.
I think it's just a good excuse to celebrate and do something
Yeah,
nice. I mean, I used to look at Valentine's Day as such a ridiculous day, and I'd be so extreme of like, oh my God, why do we need this day? It's so whatever. But like, I think in general, with age and maturity, I've learned also to like whatever, not to overblow like opinions or thoughts or what or feelings or whatever it is. And it's like just a day, and it's fine, and I don't have to overly feel a certain way about it. So if that makes any sense at all. It made sense in my head, and then I don't know if I.
yeah. You're basically saying that when you're a 20-year-old, you rebel against anything, whereas at some point you just
Yeah,
end up accept it's
it's
just
just
a day.
whatever. Just like
Yeah,
enjoy life. Like we tend to like just be take things way too seriously
yeah,
and just overreact to things and just like, just do you
yeah,
whatever it is. And I think the best way to do that is to invest in like experiences
yeah,
and just spending time with the person. Like, even if you can't go out because you have a newborn, like I would say, I don't know, try to create like this little bubble at home where you just, whether it's ordering your favorite takeout or just like preparing something together, or JT loves to cook. He could cook
he
you a
does.
romantic meal at home. And
He probably will.
and yeah, it's like, there's it's just a bit like an option, a chance to just do something nice for one another. Yes, you shouldn't be
Yeah.
doing it all year round, but it's like,
It's nice to have the reminder.
yeah, it is.
When
So
you're in a relationship, you know, if you let's okay, JT and I, let's say in a year from now, let's say that we're married, and so we've got two kids. We've got the kid on the way so my bonus daughter, his biological daughter. And so in a year, we'll have a soon to be 6-year-old and a 1-year-old. Life is going to be, it's going to be a bit hectic. It's going to be hectic
yeah,
soon, but it's going to be hectic. So if next year we've got Valentine's Day to remind us, and then our anniversary and our wedding anniversary, his birthday, my birthday, if we've got like 5 dates throughout the year, no, because we're both born in December and then our anniversary is in
yeah,
February. But if we've got these dates to kind of just remind us, hey, like you're in a relationship, you want to spice things up, I think that's good because then we can also tell ourselves it's not because it's, Valentine's Day that we need to make the exception, but it's a reminder to do it throughout the year. And having several
Hmm.
reminders of these key dates, I think is good. It's just taking the pressure off,
Yeah.
because similarly to Christmas, there's this huge pressure to be with loved ones and do things and do that, and it's not healthy. But Valentine's Day has the kind of I don't know if it does it for men, but for women you get Galentine's Day
Hmm.
where you
Yeah.
celebrate with friends and things like that. And I
Yeah.
think it's a nice reminder to just because it's tough because when you're in your early 20s, all you do is spend time with your friends and muck around and no responsibilities. But then you
Yeah.
have to, you're in a relationship or you're thinking more seriously about your career and things like that. And if you're not having kids, maybe you've got friends who are having kids, and so you kind of go on separate paths. Whereas, these dates kind of remind you to get back together.
Yeah. And I think it's a great opportunity to celebrate love, no matter what type of love it is. It doesn't have to only be romantic love. If you
Yeah,
don't have that in your life right now, that's fine. Turn to the love that you do have, whether it's with yourself or with your family or with your friends or whatever it is. Just find ways to celebrate
yeah,
your way. And I think that's what makes it special. Like Zev and I were talking about this last night about it has nothing to do with Valentine's Day, but I hope I'll be able to connect it properly. But we're talking about how every person likes to you're looking when you care too much about what people think or popularity or friends or whatever, then it impacts how you feel about yourself and what you're doing, and you're constantly doubting yourself. But when you're just living your own life and
yeah,
just doing your thing and you don't care, people outside can think that you're weird and that you're whatever, they can think whatever they want about you, but you don't care because you love your life and you're enjoying it and you're doing you. So as
yeah,
long as you just surround yourself with the right people and do things that you actually genuinely enjoy and want to do, not because everyone else around you is doing it or not because someone's looking at what you're doing or someone's criticizing it, it's just like, do you,
yeah,
no matter what it is. So if you want to celebrate Valentine's a certain way, if you don't want to celebrate it, let people around you think you're weird. Let them think you're a crazy person. That's usually a sign that they're bored in their own freaking life.
yeah.
So
I mean, honestly, I see what you did there. I think our listeners will see as well.
hopefully
And I
my brain
agree, it's
works in
just
mysterious ways.
I
Yeah.
once my brother was basically my brother ended his relationship because he'd met somebody else and like everybody kind of
Mm,
knew and got it. And then my brother and so sister-in-law went to travel for 2 years in Australia and then came back. Like he basically broke up with his like I think they were together for 5 years or something. Yeah. And then they broke up and a couple of months later he went traveling with his my sister-in-law. They've been together for 8 years now. But anyway, all this to say, 2 years after they came back, no, 2 years after they broke up, and so when they come back from Australia, people were talking about them, and he was taking it really personally. And I
mm-hmm,
said, "You guys, I love you guys, but you two are nobodies. Like
mm-hmm,
you're nobodies. You don't
yeah.
work with these people. You only play badminton with these people, and all they've got to do is talk about what you guys did 2 years ago. How sad is their life? Are their lives?" For them to
Yeah.
be interested in what you guys are doing. Like, and so I think that ties in as well. It's just, if it were Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie or whatever, I'm only thinking about Brad Pitt because of the whole I don't know if you heard about the French woman who got ripped off. Okay, never mind. It's
I
unimportant.
know that they have the whole winery kind of dispute, but I don't know if it's like
No, no, no. A woman got catfished by a guy in Africa and got
oh, and
850.
she thought
Yeah,
that he was Brad Pitt. Yeah, yeah, I
yeah.
saw something
Anyway,
about
that's
it. I
why he's on
didn't
my
read
mind.
it, but
Anyway,
yeah.
if it were that, I'd understand why people are talking about it, but it's not. It's
Mm-hmm.
just two nobodies in a small village. So anyway, all this to
Yeah.
say, if people are talking about you, one, their lives are boring, and two, it means you are very interesting. So,
Yeah,
win-win.
exactly.
And we were saying about Christmas, like, take the pressure off. You don't have to be the best version of yourself because Christmas and the holidays all around the world, like they are,
Hmm.
it's an intense time. I'd say the opposite for Valentine's Day. I say take this time to kind of test yourself and then kind of evolve because it's only a couple of days because Christmas and all these other holidays like they go on for a long time.
Yeah. It's a
So
season. It's
it's a
literally like the whole
season. Yeah,
season. Yeah.
exactly. Whereas Valentine's Day it's just maybe like 2 days, 13th and
Yeah.
14th or 15th, 14th and 15th. Okay, then those days if you're not feeling good about it, challenge yourself. Say, okay, I'm gonna go see a film by myself. I'm gonna give myself a facial. I'm gonna play video games all night. I'm just gonna do something
Yeah.
for myself. And it's okay to feel shitty, and I'm gonna do something to not feel shitty. And like a bit
Yeah.
of a challenge.
That's a good idea. Like to do something that you enjoy. If you can
Yeah.
take the day off, go out to the zoo, to the museum, walk around the city center, wherever it is, go to a neighboring town, village, city, whatever. And just like do like I feel like it's a good excuse to do something out of the ordinary that you don't, normally do. Break that routine, get out of your comfort zone and just, a lot of times, and this is a thing that I talk about a lot, like in my content about being single and enjoying your singlehood, is that we do all these things with the people around us, with the people that we love. We never do it with ourselves because it's like weird to do these things alone, but it
Yeah.
isn't because, it's part of being who you are. Like, you have to have that kind of rapport with yourself that you do with other people to be able to, be spontaneous with yourself, to be able to just have fun alone and not need someone else's company to do things, not just to wait around for people to do things with you. So you don't have to wait around for a partner or for a friend who happens to also have time on Valentine's Day, you know? And
Yeah.
people are either just focused on themselves and don't care about you, and people don't notice you as much as you think they do, or they overly care and then they're just really bored and
Yeah.
mental.
Boring.
So you just like don't care about them.
Yeah. I completely agree, and I would say next time you're out, whether it be Valentine's Day or not, just be like look around if you see people doing things on their own,
Yeah,
and you'll see that there are a lot of people, and then just take a note of just like, am I judging these people, or am I not even taking notice of them? Am I
yeah,
admiring them, judging them, or just not taking notice? And
a
there's a
good
good chance that you're not
exercise.
taking notice. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah. And I think also what you think of them is a reflection of how you would feel towards yourself or how you
yeah.
feel about being with your alone somewhere. Like I remember I used to look, I used to go out and look at people sitting alone and eating or whatever, or just walking around alone. And it sounds bad, but I would think it's pathetic and sad. And oh my God, I feel so bad for them. But like having done it myself since then and having worked on myself and felt more comfortable in my own skin and company since I had those thoughts, I suddenly see it in a completely different light. I see it as something so empowered and so incredible to be able to do that means that person is super
Yeah.
confident. They're strong. Excuse me, and they just don't care about any. They don't, if you've read the book The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, that's exactly it. We give too
It's a
many
great
F's.
book.
I keep like telling people just stop caring so much about what other people would say, and it's daunting at first, and it's like may feel weird, but you
I
get
think
used to
it's
it and it's empowering.
yeah.
I can't explain how empowering it is to be somewhere and just like I'm owning myself.
Yeah.
Sorry, go
No, no, I think what I would add an asterisk so that like it's okay to care about what friends and family think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah.
To an extent. Um, but what randomest thing? Gosh. But I would add something came up for you said about being a singles coach and me being a dating coach. I would say that if you are dating someone short term or long term and they are specifically saying that they don't want to do Valentine's Day or like they are against it or things like that and actively choosing to not do something, it's okay to do nothing just because, talk about it. What do you think about Valentine's Day? I don't care. Let's not do anything. Okay, that's one thing. But if this person is actively against it and saying, no, we're not going to see each other, like, well, I'm anti it, and I think that's a bit of a red flag.
Yeah.
I'm
Being
just like,
anti anything is like,
yeah,
I just believe in being open-minded. It's okay not to want or like something, but just you don't have to be extreme
yeah,
about every single thing in your life. It's
yeah.
just like, ugh, yeah, too heavy.
Especially when it comes to, I agree, don't have to, I mean, don't be extreme. Have an opinion, but don't be extreme. But it's if you're dating someone and this person is saying, I specifically don't want to celebrate the love holiday,
Yeah,
then I wouldn't, it's okay to not, really care and not do anything, but go out of your way to not do something just because I think that's a bit toxic and
yeah,
I'd reassess that relationship.
yeah. If anyone came out with anything like extreme, I'm like, I will. It again, it like it depends on like the case and what it is. I would like maybe try to understand better what the because there might be something deeper there that a lot of times people say like I know with Zev, like there was a few things that he said, like there was like, no, I'm not gonna share food, no matter what it is. And I'm like, not, and like, wait, and then he changes his mind
Yeah,
because like we have this like instinctual response of like it's a bit defensive, but then when you slowly get used to the idea, then it's fine. But we have to like be able to make that
yeah,
distinction and like, but if someone comes out with like, it's like on the same scale of like if someone said, I don't want to celebrate birthdays, I don't believe it. So if we're going to be together, I won't ever celebrate your birthday and you don't have to celebrate mine. But like, and
yeah,
if it's not important to you, then maybe you don't care. But like if it's something that's important to you, then you may want to reconsider. But even if you don't care, I would proceed with caution and like, why is this person being so
yeah,
extreme? And if you're being extreme on one thing, it's bound to come up in something
yeah.
in another aspect. So
So tell us what you think about Valentine's Day. Have you got any
yes.
plans?
How are you
Um,
gonna celebrate? Who are you gonna celebrate with?
yeah, and maybe we're seeing, depending on how I feel, we can do a post Valentine's Day episode, see how it goes.
Yeah. Yes, sounds good.
Bye,
Okay. Bye,
everyone.
everyone.